I did my policy brief on the path to ensure a sustainable food system. The food system is an interconnected web of activities, resources, and people that extend across all domains involving in providing human nourishment and sustaining health, including production, processing, packaging, distribution, marketing, consumption, and disposal of all food. So, America's food system consists of large scale agriculture with mass production of one product on a farm. Some examples of this would be wheat, corn, a pig farm, a beef farm, farms like that at the large mass scale. And with this, there are several problems throughout the system that we have created over time. And the most prominent one is the negative effect that large scale agriculture and its practices has on our environment. And with these farming practices, we are significantly increasing global warming. Conventional large-scale farms are the most common ones you can see throughout the country. The USDA defines large farms as any farm that do not qualify as a small farm. Therefore, it's any farm with $35,000 or more in gross sales of agriculture commodities per year. So basically, it's any farm that helps produce their product for big companies producing cereal, producing any processed product, something like that. So they usually produce single-use crops that continuously grow throughout many seasons, usually all year long, and they're producing at really high yields. They use high amount of capital investments, including their large-scale technology, to maintain their fields and spread the use of pesticides and fertilizer, as well as using machinery to till and water their fields. Large-scale farms run primarily on fossil fuels, which also means that they account for 20% of our global greenhouse emissions, which is insane. These emissions take place at every step during the food system. It starts from beginning to end. You need gas to help run all this technology that they use to maintain the fields or the animals, and also to process and package and then transport these products. So the large-scale tools that they use to maintain the fields and pastures use up to 1,000 gallons of gasoline or diesel fuel a month, as well as the fertilizer that they use gives off nitrous oxide, as well as the cattle and other animals produce methane. Methane, like CO2, can't escape the atmosphere. Therefore, it's absorbing even more heat and contributing to the heating of our planet. A lot of these emissions are released after the harvesting process, when the produce or the product is going through the washing and packaging process. And this is where the warehouse machines are running all day to produce as much product as they can to get it out into the grocery stores. After that, they're then onto the trucks, where they're transported all over the country. Some foods even go coast to coast depending on what's being grown. Like oranges can't grow in the winter, so it's transported from places like California over to the East Coast so people can have their oranges. There are steps that can be put into place to try and eliminate agriculture from being the prominent carbon emitter. It starts by downsizing the acreage of these large-scale farms and increasing the small-scale farms throughout our country. Smaller-scale farms mean there are less need for large machinery to tend to these crops or these herds. It's also creating more opportunity for increase of number of jobs. Instead of letting the technology do all of it, you can have human labor that will help decrease the number of fossil fuels that are being emitted into our atmosphere. A smaller plot of land also provides the opportunity to have healthy farming practices such as crop rotation or cover crops, as well as possibly going more organic instead of using synthetic fertilizers and other things like that. More farms at a smaller scale and spread out throughout the country provide healthy food in a closer proximity to consumers. It also means fewer transportation trucks that are needed to drive products all throughout the country. This eliminates another factor of carbon emissions within the system. Localized farming on a smaller scale means that consumers can buy directly from farms eliminating any form of packaging that is needed when processing, like they do for the grocery store. This eliminates more of the single-use plastics and styrofoams that find their way into our water systems. With limiting large-scale agriculture practices, we can eliminate one of the highest factors affecting global warming. By scaling down farms' acreage and increasing the number of farms throughout the country, we can decrease our fossil fuel usage and the carbon emissions released into the atmosphere, as well as farming more sustainably with healthy practices like crop rotation and using safe fertilizers. We can revive the health of our soils and our water system, all combining to make a big step towards trying to slow global warming for our future generations.